to my channel. This is the Autumn Acorn Knits. My name is Judy and I like to come to you about once a month to show you what I've been knitting, crocheting, designing, and naturally dyeing here in my log cabin in the woods of New Hampshire. If this is your first time, welcome, and if it's you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It is so good to see you. Happy October, episode 60. That's a lot. I'm really happy about that. So I hope you have a nice drink. I have some cold water. Knit happens. And I hope you can sit back with a project and relax with me for a little while. I have some finished objects that we'll start with. The first one is, it's a pair of socks for my youngest granddaughter Blake, and these are magic heel socks knit with some sock yarn that I dyed with Kool-Aid. It was either Kool-Aid, no, I think this was food coloring when I first started dyeing, and I had so much fun. I didn't know what I was doing, but I think this yarn came out really good, like really well distributed for the speckles, so pretty happy with that. And these should fit Blake pretty well. This is a new pattern, Magic Heel Socks for Children, that I released last month. So yeah, they're really soft and squishy, and I think she's gonna love them. Also, I pulled out an old project while I was recovering from COVID, which was awful, by the way. Still not completely myself. I'm still really tired. I still get headaches every day, and I just get kind of irritable, much more than I normally do, so it will be nice to completely feel back to myself again, but it's been a couple of weeks, so I'm ready. But anyway, while I was recovering, I knew I had started this pair of Easter socks a long time ago, probably over a year or more. They are also Magic Heel socks. I've shown them to you before, and I just really wanted to get them done. One sock was already complete, and it was this sock actually, because this sock is done correctly. It's when I started to do the second sock. I don't know what I did on the toe, but it is a mess. I don't have the blue stripe where it's supposed to be. I have it too close here and too far away here. It's supposed to be like this. And I'm just not that proud of the way that this sock turned out. It would never become a gift, let's put it that way. But I will wear them because I know the mistakes are there, but they're just what makes it my COVID socks, I think, because my brain was not in the right place at all while I was knitting these. So, but I'm really happy they're done. I can use the needles now for another pair of socks because they were US 1s, which is my favorite needle size to use for socks, and I was just happy to have them out of the project bag, and now they can go into my sock drawer and I can start wearing them. So that was finished object number 2. Finished object number 3 is also a pair of socks, and again, these were finished during my recovery time. For these, I used a commercial sock, Patons Kroy Sock, and the color is green striped rag. This sock yarn is probably my favorite sock yarn of all the sock yarns ever made. It's so strong and such a workhorse, and these I knit for my son. And these are nice, long, cozy socks. I hope they fit him well. His feet aren't that much bigger than mine, but I thought it would be nice for him to have a nice high pair of socks to keep him warm this winter, and I was really proud this time of the way I did my decreases, and there were no mistakes on these like the Easter socks, so I just concentrated, did the best I could because I knew these were a gift, a Christmas gift, and I wanted them to come out just right for my son Casey and his first pair of mommy hand knit socks, or probably any hand knit socks ever. I hope he loves them. They were fun. They're not the same, obviously, but it's okay. These socks had a real issue. I started these a long time ago as well, probably over a year ago, when my son mentioned he'd like a pair. And the yarn got so tangled up that I almost gave up. I was really frustrated. But I gave it to my husband, Joe, and he worked and worked at it. I worked and worked at it. We spent a full day on this mess of yarn, but I'm so glad we did because I didn't have much left at all, a tiny little piece, and I don't know, I just think that it was so worth it in the end to untangle it, and now we have some really cute socks. Cute, handsome socks. So that is finished object number 3. Okay, let's see. The next item I want to talk about is another version of the Cozy Cotton tee. So I've already shown you the first version of the tee, which was in a lavender and cream, and that iteration, really, this is nothing like it other than it is a yoke top down. That's the only similarity though. This version I have shown you, but it was not finished, obviously, and now it is, and this is the textured version of the Cozy Cotton tee. Short sleeve, obviously, because it's tee, with this really pretty textured section in the yoke, and then, yeah, you could see the bottom is just a plain tee. It's just a simple cotton tee with a little bit of wool in the yarn. The fit is really good, but I don't think this is going to become the Cozy Cotton tee, at least as far as I'm concerned. I'm thinking the Cozy Cotton tee needs to be raglan and simpler. Like, I want to get it as simple as I can. So the third version will be either in a pale, pale pink or cream, and it will be raglan top down still. And I'm hoping that it ends up being the final version that I end up releasing. But designing takes patience. It takes a lot of patience. There's a lot of frogging. There's a lot of just deciding at the end that that's not really what you wanted at all. And yeah, it just takes a lot of patience. But I've decided for 2023, I am going to slow down a lot with designs. Instead of trying to produce an item a month, which is crazy fast, I'm going to cut it down to maybe 3 or 4 a year. But I want them to be really good and really special, so I don't mind putting a lot of time into them. But I don't want to feel like I'm just constantly like producing. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it makes me feel my best, and I just don't think it's good for anyone. So that's my goal. Simplify, simplify. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this yarn. I naturally dyed this yarn. I believe this was Staghorn Sumac and Iron to get this really pretty gray color. I don't know if I called it purple before, but it is gray. But I'll try to put some footage of me wearing this so you can see how it looks. It's about a size medium, and just for reference, I normally wear a size medium top and about a size 6 pants, and I am 5'5" in height, 5 feet 5 inches, and I weigh about 130 pounds, give or take. So that is the Cozy Cotton tee, but it's not the final Cozy Cotton tee. Stay tuned for that. Okay, then I moved on to hat making, hat designing, I should say. And I ended up knitting 3 different hats, all of them a different size, and just a few changes which I will talk about. By the way, I'm wearing my fruit stripe shawl if anyone's interested. This is a very simple knit pattern, knit shawl that I used a bunch of mini skeins and some mohair for. And this is one of my favorites. It's very light and airy, very easy to wear. I love the size of it, so if you're interested. Alright, so the first hat that I knit is this. And this hat is too small. Obviously, I was going for an adult female size hat. Here's the decreases inside. It's a little swirl, the decreases. This is a folded over brim, and then you knit the 2 cast on edges together after you fold it up, and then you start knitting the design, the pattern. It's a 4-row repeat, and then at the top you just do your decreases. And I used this really beautiful KnitCrate yarn that I had gotten some time ago. This is a chain ply, very, very light and very airy yarn. It's by Vidalana, which is KnitCrate, a KnitCrate brand. The colorway is Broken Stones, and it's 100% fine Peruvian Highland wool. It's a sport weight. And I held it double with some Surrey silk alpaca. And that is how I ended up with this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. I just absolutely fell in love with this fabric, and I really, really wanted it to work. But it's too small. It's way too small. So, but I was still happy with most of it. Then I decided I would try again, same yarn, same combination. This time though, I obviously chose a different cast on number, and I even did the decreases differently. So you may notice that, or maybe you won't, but there are more decreases to this, and this hat kind of fits, but it's too small. But I just love the fabric, and now I don't think I would have enough left. So I think I will have to probably tear out this version, this tiny version. You can see the difference in the sizes. And add it to this yarn and make a size that will actually fit me well. But I wasn't finished there, so I ended up knitting a 3rd version, and this time I used some beautiful hand-spun yarn from a friend, Michelle. We had met up in Connecticut at a coffee shop once, and she had brought me this gorgeous yarn, and I was just so grateful for it. But anyway, I thought, well, let me try to use this yarn to make a hat, because I still was determined that this hat would be big enough. Now here is the yarn I had all balled up. It's a stunning, stunning yarn. I just love the way she plied it. I think you call that barber pole plying. And I just love all the different colors of blues and black and cream that are in this yarn. But I still had a really hard time picturing how it would look knit up. So I went to work. I started yesterday, and then I finished it up this morning. But here it is in the hand spun yarn, and I'll show you again the top. Now this time I think I got the size just right. I can't show you because I have a bun. I had a terrible hair day, so I just had to throw it up. but I tried it on and I think it looked good. I felt how it looked. I did not look in the mirror. I just put it on and I thought it felt really nice. It's a little big, but I'd way rather have it too big than too small. And I'm just so happy with how it turned out. So now that I know, and this hand spun, this is not a sport weight. I did not hold this with the Surrey alpaca. I considered it, but I didn't. But I'm going to say that this is probably, I mean, it's thick and thin, but I would guess that this goes from maybe a sport all the way up to a worsted or even an Aran weight. So when I write the pattern up, what I probably will do is just write it up in the 2 different yarn weights because I like it in both. Obviously I had to use the hand spun to try to get the size that I was looking for. The needle sizes that I used were a US 5 for the brim and a US 6 for the main body of the hat. And I might next time just use a US 6 or I don't know. I feel like maybe, no, I think what I would do is a US 4 for the brim and then a US 6 because I think it looks like it puffs out just a little bit because it's a folded over brim and I used a heavier weight yarn. I'm assuming that's why it did it, but overall, I'm so happy with this hat, and I hope it'll look good on, and you can be looking for that pattern. I have not blocked this version yet, so I can't wait to see how it looks blocked out. I think it will show off all those stitches a lot more. The other 2 hats were blocked and I just think they turned out really cute. I was thinking of adding perhaps this pom-pom to this version and maybe giving this one to my granddaughter, one of my granddaughters. I think that would look cute and hopefully it would fit. If not, I'm sure this size would fit one of them. So that was 3 more finished objects, so believe it or not, that was 6 finished objects already. It's a really rainy fall day here today, so I'm not sure if you can hear the rain, but it's very soothing for me. So I went and I grabbed some of these little bags that I've been making because I couldn't remember if I showed them to you in the last episode. They are almost finished being test crocheted, so they were already tech edited, and I have made a whole bunch of different ones. I'll just show you a couple of them. So this is the berry bucket bag, and there's also a berry bowl. So this is the berry bucket bag. It's a little drawstring project bag. It has a leather bottom, but you can also crochet a bottom. I include directions for that as well. And it's just a little, like I said, it's a little project bag. I would say this would definitely easily fit a sock project. Here's another version of it that I used some of my Patreon yarns for. So these were all naturally dyed, and again, this is a bucket bag. This time I just used a little bit of suede shoestrings. I don't know what they're called. And the bottom again is leather. Then, oh, and this one, by the way, was crocheted using new Teton wool. This one was also crocheted using new Teton wool. And I love this fall color. And again, it's a drawstring with this very soft leather bottom. I love this one. And then this is the version that I made for the wedding that Joe and I attended. So this one was made out of Surrey silk alpaca. And then I used this gorgeous pink leather bottom for this. I've also knit some of the bowls. I can't show you right now, but I have one hanging on my bedpost over there. That's really handy. I keep all my lotions in that one. And so yeah, this has just been a really fun and easy pattern. I made one also for a gift for a knitting friend who's coming over on Friday. I cannot believe I have a knitting friend coming to the house. That doesn't usually happen because I live so remotely. But Marie, who I have talked about on this channel before, is a sweet friend who lives also in New Hampshire, about an hour and 15 minutes away. So we are getting together on Friday. We're just going to meet and knit and go to lunch, and I want to show her all around because she has seen the podcast before. She knows what it looks like but has never been here. I got a new gadget gifted to me. Hannah is the genius behind this tool. It's a magnet. There's an arm that sticks on. So say you have a cake of yarn. You just simply put this little thing right up the center, and then it sticks here. You can hold up to 200 grams of yarn, and then when you are knitting with it, I mean, you just pull, and this never ever gets tangled, even when it backs up on itself, and it's just wonderful. It's my favorite knitting tool by far, and I'm really happy to have it. So yeah, that is the knitting genie, or the wool genie, I'm sorry. And I thought that my wool genie needed a bag to transport to knitting group. So that's what I did. I made same idea, little bit different. Like I didn't do as many berry rows, but yeah, here it is. And it fits in there just perfectly to carry. I wanted to keep it safe. So yeah, I made a little tote, and the bottom is also leather, this time square. But this one's made out of a very rugged, thick, kind of like a rug yarn. It's really thick and sturdy and soft, so that if it falls, it will not break. Okay, we are in a new location. Husband came home early, and it's a long story, but we're down in the living room now. So let's continue on with our works in progress. So we have another old project, Birds and Ships by Caitlin Hunter. This is a really cute cowl, and I just finally got to the part where you join to work in the round, so that's exciting. But I don't know why this project is taking me such a long time to finish, but let me try to show you what I've got so far. It's going to be really cute. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I really love the color of this yarn. This is a Knit Picks Stroll, I believe it was. In this, I don't know the color because something gray. It has light gray in it and some darker bits, and I just love it so much. So yeah, I think now that I'm really going to town on it, I think I'm going to finish it up in the next couple of days, because it's just the same repeats over and over now, and it's not a very difficult lace. It's pretty, I mean, I have to look every row, but it's not too bad. So I'm really excited to get this finished, finally finished and worn this fall and winter. That's the only real project that I'm working on right now, because I'm really trying to get things just finished up, and I don't have a ton of projects left. So that's good, because that's been a goal of mine for this entire past years, just to try to get things finished up and get them just used, get them into life. So yeah, this amazing carpet bag was sent to me by Max Carpet Bag Works on Etsy, which is a California company. They're all different styles. I think this one's called the Weekender, but it's big and it's beautiful, and I requested this color coffee with these beautiful roses on it and this leather tag that says my name. You can get it monogrammed any way you like. It holds a lot of different projects. I already had this one in it, this one. These are projects that I really have not been working on. I have my son's crochet blanket in there, and then I have all of my embroidery as well. So yeah, it holds a lot. And on the inside, it has a beautiful zipper pocket rather. And then this canvas inside with all these pockets. I hope you can see that. This strap is removable. If you just want to hold it by the handles, you can remove the strap. And it has feet on the bottom, which I love. And it's just the most gorgeous carpet bag. I can't even believe that this was made by hand. That makes it so much more special. Thank you so much, Park. I absolutely love this bag, and I know I am going to get so much use out of it. Whether I'm traveling for the weekend and I can fit everything in this bag, or when I'm going to a knitting group and I want to bring every knitting project with me. This is the perfect bag. I highly recommend you should check them out. I will leave the link in the description box below if you'd like to get your own carpet bag. It's still raining outside, so I hope it's not interfering with the sound quality of this video. I can't do anything about that. It's probably also affecting the lighting. I'm sorry about that as well. But yep, I'm going to seal this sucker right back up and carry it everywhere I go. Makes me feel like Mary Poppins. I picked up a couple of books, used books. I like to get used books if I can. This one is called Cast On and Bind Off 54 Step-by-Step Methods. So it has all different cast-ons and bind-offs. Elegant edges for all of your knitting. And I thought it would up my designing game a little bit if I used some different cast-ons and binds-offs. So it's nice to have them all in one place so I don't have to look for them. I'm really pleased with the book. And I do expect this to be a very handy tool for me. And it was $20.95, and it was marked down to $5.49, so that's a pretty good deal. Then I was most excited about this one. This is called the Knitting All Around Stitch Dictionary, because I find that a lot of times you can find a great stitch pattern, but it only works, for example, knit flat. This one actually is 150 stitch patterns that you can knit top down, bottom up, back and forth, and in the round. So you have a lot of choices. Here's the back. And I love how this is a hard bound book, but with the spiral. That makes it so nice. It's like having both in one, you know. And it's just a beautifully done book. And I've got some pages marked already, some stitches that I really like. I liked this Indian pillar stitch, for example. And I liked the bow knots on this side. I thought that would be really cute for a sweater. Love telescope lattice. That would be a super cozy pullover. And there are many, many others in here that I like. So I think this is going to be a super handy reference tool for designing as well. And then when Joe and I were finally starting to feel just well enough to go out for a little while, we went to see some nice shops in a town about an hour or so away. and they had a really pretty waterfall. And then I found this mushroom notebook called Foraging. It's this line of notebooks that are vintage style, and I really, really like them. Let's see the name. Cavallini and Company in San Francisco, and I just think they have such a really pretty aesthetic, and you could see the price I paid for that, but I could not resist this. Love this. Also, LL Bean was having, I've never noticed that they had these totes before, so I picked up 2 of them. This one in the cream color, and then this one in pink and cream. And I just thought the price was so reasonable. And inside this one I have some sock yarn for a pair of socks that I do want to knit someone special. So we'll see how that comes out. But I just thought these were so cool and so well made. It's called Boat and Tote. I just love everything about this. And I was thinking of gifting this, but pretty sure I'm going to keep it. Sometimes I hold on to things for a while just to know if I'm giving it away or not. And if I really feel like I can't, then I don't. So, I also found this really pretty sweater at a thrift store. It's a large men's, and so that means it fits me really well as an oversized sweater. Here, I'll put it on for you. I have been living in this one already. I can't wait for when it's like snowing out, but look at it. It's so cozy. I love it. I really, really love this sweater. It was $10, so a really good deal. I also wanted to show you that I had been working on some latch rug hooking. I don't think it's called latch hooking. This is like the original rug hooking that they did, you know, back in the colonial days. So here is, let's see how I can show you this. I'm not sure I can, but this is my loom or my frame, and here's the design. It is meant to go this way, and I have 2 leaves that I've traced out, and then I'm doing the background now, and then of course I'll finish filling it in, and I'm hoping that this will become a pillow for my bed. But it's been really fun to bring this back out again, keeping all my tools for it in here. So I'm hoping I have enough wool strips to finish. I have a machine that I use to make the wool strips. You know, you turn the lever and there's a cutter that cuts them out nice and even for you. It's really fun to do and really meditative. So yeah, and mine are about this long. I have a bunch of these strips. And then you just use this. This is the little hook for it. And it's really, really simple, really basic. And I'm enjoying keeping them in this nice see-through case that I got at Joann's on sale. So that's fun. I hope to finish up that little project in a couple days. That's it for acquisitions and works in progress, finished projects, all that good stuff. I did have a shop update where I took all of the yarns that I had been dyeing all spring and summer and threw them in the shop. I made all these sort of collections or box sets, and most of them have sold, but there are still some available if you're interested. For example, this set here is still in the shop. This just gives you an idea of what's available. I hope you could see that. They're all dyed with different plants, different dye materials, different techniques in my workshop. So that's just one example. I don't remember exactly how many sets are left, but most of them have sold, and there are probably 8 left, maybe. So I hope you'll have a look in the shop. I'll leave the link down below if you're interested in any of my naturally dyed wools. I think that is everything for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode and catching up with me. Like I said, October was a really nice month, and then Joe and I went to a wedding and we ended up getting COVID. Mine was much worse than his. Mine started out as a stomach virus, which then just developed into this horrible COVID thing. And like I said before, now it's just sort of headaches every day and just feeling not myself yet, tired all the time, and just, yeah, ready to be beyond this. But it has been lovely chatting with you. I hope you are all doing well, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye now.